What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Super Power Pros. It's Dennis, and I'm bringing you today a updated deck profile from the last time I've made this one, and it's Trafalgar Law. A really cool leader with the effect of Dawn minusing 3 to bottom deck a guy that costs 3,000 power or less, and then you play a character from your hand with a cost of 4 or less. So it's pretty busted in the fact that it gets to flood your board while removing the opponent's board. So with the removal and board presence, you've got the best of everything here. And I have to make my deck into a bit of a rush version because the deck doesn't give you a lot of Dawn to be, holding out for the end game. So this is why the deck is designed the way it is. Anyways, let's get right to the deck profile. No more blah, blah, blah from me. First up, we've got Gordon. This big head dude is activate main, minus 3,000 power to any opponent's character by just bottom decking himself. This is good because it assists your leader in bottom decking bigger guys than you would otherwise. So 4 of him is a must. Next up, we've got 4 of Otama. Otama is a good 2k, and it does the same thing as Gordon, except it's only minus 2,000 power. I rarely use her effect. It's only for like sheer emergencies if I really need to cover something, but mostly it's for her 2k. Up next, I'm playing 2 of the 2k Sanji. Not only is he good for the 2k, but he actually has a pretty decent effect towards the end game. If you drop him from your hand with the leader's effect, you might be able to go for a game the next turn because he gets to shoot up to 7,000 power very easily. So that's a play you could go for. So I found room for 2 of him. Next up, the rushing guys. It's all my rushing Zoros. 3/5, really cheap, and just put pressure on the opponent. What can I say about that? And it can be played from your hand with your leader's effect, which comes up towards late game when your opponent thinks you can't go for game. You just start dropping these guys like nothing. You get to hold them out for the end. Up next, this one here is from the latest set, Trafalgar Law. This is a new searcher one. When attacking, if your opponent has more Dawn than you look at 5 cards and reveal a Heart Pirate card, and then you get to add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom. So this always comes up because you always have less Dawn than your opponent because you're always going minus 3 Dawn with this leader. So yeah, this effect should always be available to you, and searching is pretty good. I have in the deck about 20 or 22 cards exactly that are Heart Pirates that you can search. And another cool thing is that this guy can search Trafalgar Law, so he's not name restricted like some searchers. So if you see him, you get to add more of this if it's all you see, so you don't miss your chance to get something. I put 3 because 4 is a bit clunky. I don't really need all of it. It's only good for the beginning of the game. After that, you don't need to play that thing at the end. Up next, we've got another 2k. This Beppo, his effect is really mediocre, to be honest. It's not that good at all. And I don't play him. It's only there for a 2k. And it's a 2k that's searchable because he's a Heart Pirate card. So that's why I have it for him. I was already thinking of taking out 2 Otamas and putting in another couple Beppos just for the consistency of not missing my search. Anyways, Trafalgar Law. Another card you can search with the searching law is this one. Just on play, give a minus 2,000 power to an opponent's character. Very good for lowering the power to then again enhance your leader's ability to just bottom deck larger powered dudes. On another law, keeping up with the laws, it's the blocker law. This one has an on-play -1 that'll trash 2 cards from your opponent's hand if they got 7 or more. So it's a pretty nice surprise card when your opponents keep on holding out to all their life cards, and definitely you get to just torture guys like Whitebeard and such, and other decks that hold a lot of cards in their hand. So very good card. And NL, when they try to starve you, you don't let yourself get starved. You hold out and don't play nothing and then go for this guy. That's pretty funny too. I've done that so many times. Trying that on the sim. And up next, we've got Sachi and Penguin, the Penguin guy. This is only very good in the beginning of the game because if you have 3 or less Dawn, you get to add 2 for free. So in this deck, you have to constantly be aware of your Dawn and how much Dawn you'll have when you activate the leader's effect, because when you have 3 or less, you gotta always play this guy because you get 2 free back. Very good. Well, even in the late game, he's not bad because if you draw him at the end, he's a 2k counter, which I forget sometimes that he's 2k counter because I always want to play him, but he's got that. Another Beppo, also search with the searching law. Anyways, on play and when attacking, you got a free Dawn card if your opponent has more Dawn than you, which they always do. So yeah, you got to play him at 4 because he's playable from the hand with the leader's effect as well. For Beppos is pretty nice. I choose to play 2 of Ain She has no counter, so that's pretty bad, but on play you get a free Dawn. So sometimes you just want to increase your Dawn, or after you bottom deck somebody, you want to have more Dawn for the following turn. And if you don't have Penguin or Beppo, Ain is a very good card to play because it's a free Dawn automatic. So yeah, can't go wrong with Ains. Up next, I'm choosing to play 2 of Khalifa. She's a good 2k counter and has a really nice effect of Dawn minusing to draw 2 cards and trash 1 from your hand to fix your hand a bit. And also, you know, set your next plays up. So that's pretty nice. Next up, with her, that's really good. Also, this new guy. You got to play 4 of this. It's the new Captain Kidd, the blocker. It's also when you return a Dawn, which is going to be always in this deck, you get to get 1 free 1 back as active. So then you get to use it to make some guy get stronger. So that's pretty good. Another good play you can do is play Khalifa. And then if you have him in your hand, you play him the next turn, then attack with her. You go Dawn -1. In reality, you're just going Dawn +1 active. So that's pretty crazy to do that. And like I said, you have several effects here that are minus Dawn. You have the Law. Of course, you're a leader that you can do all the damn time. But yeah, pretty much him and Khalifa and 2 of these guys. 2 of Queen. I know I'm going to get questions about why are you not playing 4 of this? Because this deck is mostly about rushing. It's not about defending yourself because you get to flood the board rather quickly. So you're attacking a lot and you're attacking fast. So that's why I'm not focusing too much on a defensive strategy in this deck because it's really rush designed in a way. But yeah, we fit 2 of them because sometimes you want to do that. You want to play him. Sometimes after the Captain Kidd, you go minus, you go plus. And again, to fix your hand if that's all you can do. Also, there's so much removal in the game today that I don't feel it's worth to play guys like Queen because you go up against decks like Sakazuki, you invested 5 Dawn just to play this, and then it gets bottom decked anyway because it just gets reduced and knocked out. So, yeah. Next up, it's a red deck, so I'm going to be playing 1 of the Rushing Luffy. I might want to play more of this, maybe take out an Ain. That's probably something I would consider. But this is a game-winning card because usually your opponents at the end of the game love to set up a lot of blockers. It's just a trend. Like you'll see players do it all the time when they're about to lose. If they know they can't go for game, they'll go boom, blocker, blocker, blocker. So then you hold on to this guy for the very end and you literally get to win the game right through them because 2 Dawn and you get to ignore the blockers. So 1 Luffy. He is from the latest set. Also a Fire Fist, the new Fire Fist. Give an opponent's character minus 4,000, and then if you have 2 or less life, you KO a guy that has 0 power or less. So this card's really good to enhance a leader's ability. 4 and then the 3, you get to bottom deck a guy that would cost originally 7,000 power. And besides that, let me tell you a cool combo that you could do against Sakazuki because I played so many Sakazukis already on the simulator that you can do Fire Fist on somebody else, on a character like Rob Lucci or whatever, and then use this thing's effect to KO the 0 powered Rebecca. They play if there's a 0 powered guy on the board, you can KO that while doing the reduction power on a different character. So that's pretty nice. That has come up a couple times and I'm happy it did. So 2 Fire Fist. Last 2 cards of the deck to make our 50. It's going to be Gamma Knife. This one, because it's a Heart Pirate card, it's also searchable with the Searching Law card. So you Dawn -1, give an opponent's character minus 5,000 power during the turn. So minus 5,000 power means you get to bottom deck guys like the 7 cost Big Mom, the 7 cost Borsellino, and several other crazy characters. So this is pretty good. Minus 5,000, and then your leader gets a free bottom deck, something nasty. So I've decided not to play any more of Round Table. Round Table was the old card that I took out of the deck. It was this one. It's just a lot more costly than this. Even though you're minusing 1, this thing only costs 2 Dawn to do it. So that's why I've eliminated Round Table from my build, but it's something that you might want to consider if you want to try that way. But that's the full deck profile here. And another thing you can do is play Gamma Knife after you have your Captain Kidd on the board. Then your -1 means a +1. So it's pretty crazy. It's almost like it costs 1 Dawn to use. So I'm going to make this neat so you guys can see the ratio is a lot better. Let's do that. So here we have it, the full visual list for you guys. And there's some things that I want to also mention. Another combo that's also came up that's you should be aware about is things like Trafalgar Law, the 4-drop. He can do this effect where against a Katakuri player, let's say they have a Brûlé or something, and you can go giving it minus 2,000 power, or NL deck, I guess, NL or Katakuri, minus 2k to a Brûlé. That thing is at 0. Then you can do Fire Fist at a different character, KO the Brûlé, and then that other character that got minus 4,000, you can use that low character now can be bottom decked with your leader. So that's another thing that you should be aware about, is how you can combo the Fire Fist a lot more better than you think, with using things like Law or Gordon or Otama that can already reduce power, then use Fire Fist to KO it, and its reduction power on a different character. Something you should definitely note. And besides that, the deck profile, there's nothing I'll really add unless you possibly want to add this Old Brook. I just thought he was a little slow because he's also, when attacking, you get to keep giving minus 2000 power to 2 guys. I would say if you really hate the Searching Law, which I know some people do, I would say a decent replacement is the Brook. That's pretty much all I can think about. Besides that, it's moving around certain ratios. Like, I want to take out an Ain and maybe put in an extra Monkey D. Luffy. But besides that, I hope you guys like the deck profile. Let me know what you think in the comments. I've only been able to play it so much in the Sims so far because I've not been able to go out to tournaments because of work reasons. So I hope you guys play it and let me know if you guys can top with it. As I know I've been doing really good with it in the Sims. I've been playing like 30-something games already in the last few days. And I'm enjoying it. Hope you enjoy it too. Peace, guys.